From the Slumgullion Summit in Colorado, welcome to the GCN Show.
Welcome to the GCN Show, brought to you by Wiggle.
This week, are you a sucker for marketing hype? Find out with our quick and easy test.
We also put the gravel debate to bed once and for all. We've got some new tech from Whoop.
Whoop.
Yeah, that's it. And we're going to show you the ultimate anti-bike theft hack. This week in the world of cycling, we learned that Chris Froome is not the only rider turned runner. Here's Eamon Lucas running to a top 10 place in the Goelichem Kermesse in Belgium, having crashed at 60 k's per hour and broken his bike.
Fair play, Eamon there. Now, initially, Dan, I confess, when you first showed me that, I thought you were forcing me to watch a triathlon. But no, then I realised he's wearing socks,
well, yeah.
So he must be a cyclist.
That was a bit of a giveaway.
Yeah.
Strictly speaking, he should have been disqualified by the race organisers because you have to finish with a bike. But thankfully, they took a more lenient approach and let it slide.
Yes, I'm very glad to hear that. Now, if you would like to see what Eamon looks like riding his bike, here he is, winning a race the very next day.
Hij is tot het uiterste gegaan, hij is dolgelukkig met zijn overwinning. Dan kijken we uit wie zal beslag leggen op de tweede plaats.
We also learned this week that the two hottest properties in men's cycling, Mathieu van der Poel and Wout van Aert, are both taking more steps to becoming full-time roadies.
That's right. Van der Poel announced last week that he will be doing the Road World Championships later this year and not the mountain bike ones. And Van Aert, well, I'll let him speak for himself.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Wout.
I have some exciting news today.
Really? What is it?
I will be at the start line at the Tour de France next month in Belgium.
OMG, you must be barely able to contain your excitement.
Oh, a super nice thing for me. I want to thank the team for this opportunity, my family for all their support, and I really look forward to line up with a strong team.
Ah, what a legend. I love Wout. He actually reminds me, weirdly, of someone else in that video.
Who's that?
The world of cycling is just about to get a hell of a lot less complicated. Welcome to the Global Cycling Network, or GCN.
That is, of course, Dan from the first ever GCN show.
Pretty harsh that, I thought.
And Wout.
Exactly, yeah. He was nowhere near as bad as I was in that first ever episode.
No, I tell you what, can I just say I'm so excited that he is riding the Tour de France.
Me too.
Brilliant, I'm made up.
And Van der Poel, the World Championship.
Yeah.
Right, moving on, you will remember that last week we dived into that hot topic that is gravel racing.
Absolutely, some great comments that we will go into later on actually from you lot at home. But there are also one or two quite negative ones, weren't there? Effectively to the tune of, gravel isn't really a thing, it's just marketing hype. Or the fact that you don't need a gravel bike anyway, you can do it on your mountain bike, or you've already been doing it on your 40-year-old road bike for 39 years.
Yeah, it's cynicism that we hear quite a lot here at GCN. It's not confined just to gravel riding either. I mean, cycling technology as a whole has come on leaps and bounds over the last few years, so we regularly get comments to the effect of, you don't need it, it's just a fad.
Exactly, so we thought we should probably devise some kind of marketing hype detector test. Now you can all play along at home. We're roping in Tom, who's behind the camera, and I'm going to get stuck in as well.
Yeah, it really is quite simple, as you would expect from GCN. A 12-point poll. Ready?
Yes.
Do you have disc brakes?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have a gravel bike?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have an aero bike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aero kit?
Yeah.
Yes.
A moustache, tattoo or beard?
No.
No.
Yeah, I've got a sort of patchy beard. Do you eat either a high carb, low carb or no carb diet?
No.
Yes.
Is there lots of carbs in beer?
Yeah.
I'm on a high carb diet. Have you ever had a coach?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Have you had a bike fit?
Well, not out of choice.
Yeah.
How wide are your tyres?
Wow, they go up to 40 mil these days, but on the road, 28.
Yeah, 28.
28, I'm 28 too. Oval chain rings?
No.
No.
Fancy brake pad compounds?
No.
Yes.
Oh. Expensive lube?
No.
Ceramic.
Whoa. Well, I didn't count up Tom's, but I think you, Si, were 6 out of 12 there, so 50%. We haven't made up what the answers mean yet, but I would imagine you're on the cusp. Do you think we are suckers for marketing hype?
Well, it kind of depends on your perspective, doesn't it? I mean, expensive chain lube probably won't surprise many of you to know that I don't tend to invest in that particular
Still
one.
got the WD-40.
Well, yes, I have, yeah. And then also fancy brake pad compounds, that's another one. And tattoos, beards and moustaches. Yet to be convinced of their merits as well. But the rest of it, genuinely, I feel a tangible benefit to.
That said, if you live in an area that's exclusively dry and you don't go down any technical descents, you're probably going to see disc brakes as pretty much pointless.
Yep.
And the same could go for if you live in an area where there's no gravel riding, just mountain bike trails or road. Then, what's the point in getting a gravel bike?
Frankly though, and I can see people's point here, nobody needs any of those aforementioned tech upgrades. If you buy a bike that's 40 years old on eBay, you will be able to go out and have a great ride and have great fun.
But then nobody needs a smartphone either, do we? None of us had one 15 years ago, but the fact is, it's incredibly useful despite being a time waster. You've got the entire world's information at your fingertips.
Including marketing hype?
Well, including marketing hype, should I say. But the fact is, some people out there will decide to snub that modern technology and go back to basics, and that's fair enough. On the other hand, in my opinion, if you take a modern road bike and then compare it to the aforementioned 1970s steel bike from eBay, you're going to have a more comfortable ride, a more enjoyable ride, a faster one, a safer one, and you're also going to find that that bike lasts a hell of a lot longer.
Well, we would love to hear your thoughts on this subject. Do you think that you can differentiate between hype and right? Or are you the biggest cynic since sliced bread?
That one doesn't even make any sense.
It doesn't, does it? Sorry.
Regardless, please do get involved in the comment section because we're pretty sure this is going to evoke a fairly passionate response from a lot of you.
Absolutely. In fact, it's been a while since we've had a debate on disc brakes, isn't it? Things got pretty hairy when we were there. So keep things civil, please, in the comment section. Right, now we're going to hand over to Catherine, who's been over at the OVO Women's Tour here in the UK.
Hi guys, we're reporting in from the OVO Energy Women's Tour, 6-day stage race starting here in Suffolk. We've been chatting with Canyon Schramm, one of the teams here, and also with the riders ahead of the race. So it looks to be a really exciting one. Catch up with all the news from that next week in the Racing News Show.
We also want to give you a little sneak peek of what's coming up on the channel this weekend. I got to go out to the US last week to catch up with new recruit Jeremy Powers, and we did an amazing ride, which you'll be able to watch this Saturday. So here you go.
Jeremy? It's me, man, in an American truck, a Ford. 450 stallions underneath that hood.
Jesus, mate, is that yours?
No, it's not. I actually drive a Prius. I borrowed this, but you ready to go?
Yeah.
Do you see the fish over there? Come on, man.
Great ride, but did you have to get naked again?
What?
It is now time for your weekly inspiration here on GCN. Your chance to win one of 3 Wiggle voucher amounts, £100 if you take the top prize, £75 for second and £50 for third. Usual ways to enter each and every week. You can use the upload, or a link to which is in the description below, or you can use the hashtag GCN Inspiration over on Instagram. Now, most of them this week have come from the uploader, except for this first one. So.
Well, yeah, we're going to get things started with Steve from Lanzarote. He sent this one in.
I know it's a terrible photo, it's terrible. There's no prize for this one. This is Steve Dawkins, my father-in-law, who I promised I would give a shout out to on the show. So there's no prize for him.
What?
There's no prize for him.
Well, I'm glad there's no prize.
There's a prize for me in terms of brownie points. So there you go, Steve. Please try better with your photo next time. I hope you enjoy your holiday over in Lanzarote.
Honestly, right, okay, well, let's get things started then properly. In third place, an actual photo that was sent in, and presumably no relative of yours.
Really good one. No.
Okay, this is Aidan from the Caption mountain near Dublin, in Ireland.
Dublin, right, I think.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, there you go. Saturday afternoon in the Dublin mountains. It rained the whole ride until it gets to the highest point, and above it all was a lovely rainbow over the Sally Gap.
Yeah, you got that right too.
Thanks.
Well done to you. £50 on its way in Wiggle vouchers to spend on what you want over on their online shop. Second place this week goes to Delano over in Auckland, New Zealand, who took this photo out on a morning group ride. As ever, suckers for sunset and sunrise photos, and this is a good one.
I'm not going to lie, give me a sunset or a sunrise over a rainbow, because, well, we all know what rainbows mean, don't they? And you're going to get a wet chamois. so yeah, that is great. But the winner this week, irrespective of it being from the most complicated place name we could find, Dachsteinstrasse Summit in Austria. Look at that.
Well, we should do the due diligence and give his name.
Sorry.
Jakob, well done to you. £100 of wiggle vouchers, and that is a stunning photo.
That is amazing. I was focusing so much on the place, I forgot.
He's been building up to the pronunciation of that place name for the last 10 minutes.
I know, I'm going to get annihilated as well.
Forgot poor old Jakob.
Yeah.
Well done to all of you. Don't forget to keep sending your entrances in. Entrances?
Entries?
Well, you know what to do. I told you at the start.
It's now time for cycling shorts.
Cycling shorts now, and we're going to start with the news that former professional rider Andrea Tafi will be coming out of retirement.
Oh, not this story again.
No, seriously, he will. He actually will this time. Not, unfortunately, to live his dream of riding Paris-Roubaix again, but he's going to be riding gravel. Yes, Andrea knows where it's at. So he's going to be riding a Paris-Roubaix style event, and it's even going to finish on a velodrome.
Interesting one, this. It's being organised by G4 Productions, and it's part of a series called Rock and Road. The first of that series will take place on November the 3rd in Trexler Town over in Pennsylvania, at which you will be able to see Taffy riding.
Yeah, with or without aero bars, Andrea, that's the question for you.
Speaking of which, we had a rather passionate, we had loads of comments on this.
We did, it was brilliant, yeah, fantastic.
The gravel, didn't we? So we'll start with this one from Eric Sonnen.
He said, I've never heard of the Dirty Kansas until now, but I want to ride it next year, adding to the lack of coolness.
Speaking of which, we might ride it as well. So
yeah, absolutely.
Meanwhile, Greg Jenner summed the whole situation up perfectly. He said, gravel races are like mullets. Business at the front, party at the back. The racing up front basically doesn't affect the party behind.
That's what they said about the Tour de France, wasn't it, in 2010, 2009? Yeah, when you did
was
it.
Was there some business at the front, was it, that I didn't see?
Yeah. It wasn't much of a party at the back either, was it?
No, not much, no.
Right then, we also had a very cool message sent to us by the event director at Dirty Kansas. He said, firstly, absolutely love the latest episode, which is very kind of you. The mere fact that you're able to laugh means you guys have the right attitude for gravel, if there is such a thing. Growth and prestige, I guess, can make things more difficult for us in some ways, but at the end of the day, we're just trying to offer an amazing experience to as many people as possible. We don't care if they're slow or fast, whether they get paid to ride their bikes or they don't. And then he also said, appreciate the hard work in providing a little levity to a sport and a society that can be way too serious sometimes.
Conversely, Jeff Kabush had this to say on Twitter. Sure are a lot of tabloid hot takes this week saying I care about whether aero bars are cool or not. Was it in tabloid stuff as well? Was it?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, come on, I wore a Jort skin suit last weekend.
You wore a what, Jeff? A skin suit?
Is that how much that he wanted to win the race? He wore a skin suit.
Well, you know what? He probably should have put aero bars on. Then he would have felt some benefits. Maybe next year, Jeff. Maybe next year, aero bars.
Right, I think we should move on and we'll discuss that topic that Jeff Kabush put up on Twitter at another time.
I look forward to the debate resurfacing in about June next year.
We're going to move on to what could be some very good news for commuters here in the UK. So, just a couple of days ago, there was an announcement of a change to the Bike to Work scheme, which is going to make it easier for employers to provide employees with bikes worth more than £1,000, and that's going to include e-bikes.
Whoa! Now we know some of you are not all that big on e-bikes, but the fact is, more people on bikes, whether e-bikes or normal bikes, has got to be a good thing from environmental reasons and also for traffic congestion reasons. And the other thing as well is that having e-bikes in there means that it's opened up to people with disabilities for the first time. Can't moan about that.
No, surely nobody can moan about that fact. Also, another good news for commuters over here in the UK, the Royal Park Society has announced a new movement strategy, which says that in a few years' time, there's a possibility that cars are going to be banned from our royal parks here in the UK.
I'm not gonna lie, Dan, movement strategy has got my hype detector twitching ever so slightly.
It's 10.
That's right, but it is good news for London-dwelling cyclists. Richmond Park, long been a haven for those pre- and post-work fast laps, but it does get kind of congested, doesn't it, at rush hour time?
It does.
That could be good news.
Very much. I used to live not too far from Richmond Park, although I was 4 miles in the direction of much quieter roads. I never really went there, but I did on one occasion head to Richmond Park just to see what all the fuss was about amongst local cyclists. Did a couple of laps. I was quite enjoying it actually, until on the second lap, somebody shouted at me whilst I was racing for the Cervelo test team, "Oi, full pro kit wanker!"
That's great. Yeah, you did. You had another good story actually about your Cervelo test team days just the other day. On a similar line, what was it when you were signing on for that local race after the Tour de France?
Yeah, this is after the tour. Well, this is after the tour I did in 2010. 2 weeks later, I went over to the Morton TLI handicap race, about an hour from where I lived, signed on, and the lady behind the desk said, "Have you ever done this race before?" And I said, "No, this is my first time here at Morton. Which group do you want to go in?" And I said, "Well, I'll go in the fast group, the elite one, I think." "Are you sure you're going to be all right with that? Because they do go quite fast at the scratch group at the back." And I said, "Yes, I'll be fine, I think." To be fair to her, she did come up and apologise a couple of hours later when somebody told her that I'd just come out of the Tour de France.
Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant. Anyway.
Great stories, Gather around the fire.
We'll move quickly on. One last point from Cycling Show, isn't it? We've got to say a big congratulations to Nikki Bramier. She has officially announced that she's hanging up her racing wheels, having won World Cups and cyclocross and had a successful career. Partly because she's expecting a child as well. So that's great news.
With former professional rider Matt Bramier. So congratulations to both of you from all of us. Tech of the week now, and first up, something new from Whoop. This is their Whoop 3.0.
That's right. Now, I was out visiting them in Boston last week, actually, so we've got a couple of videos coming up on GCN soon. I'm not going to lie, I was absolutely fascinated, so I hope you lot will be too. If you don't know what Whoop is, then we probably better explain. This is part of it. So they make a wearable device that collects a whole load of data, including heart rate variability. But the really clever bit lies on the smartphone app, because with that data, it can work out your recovery status, how much strain you're under, and then also it can give you a lot of insight into how well you're sleeping.
Well, you've been wearing it since last Saturday, haven't you? So how are you getting on?
Well, it is still getting to know me, so calibrating, but early signs are not good, Dan. So the first night was a transatlantic flight, and then last night my tendency to sleepwalk seems to have negatively impacted my sleep. So my current recovery status is just 34%, which does tally up with how I'm feeling. So there we go.
To be fair, your tendency to sleepwalk has also disrupted my sleep when we roomed together in a hotel at an event somewhere. Version 3.0 will mean that you get 5 days between full charges. It also has something called Heart Rate Broadcaster, which means you can sync up to your devices such as a Wahoo. And further to that, there's a strain coach. Now, what this does is assess your recovery at any particular point of the day and then recommend how much training to do at any particular point of the day based on your cardiovascular strain.
Yeah, like I say, stay tuned. We'll see what this churns out over the next couple of weeks when I'm chilling out a bit. Right, now, some hardware for us. It looks from certain shots that EF Education First have got themselves some new Cannondales to race on at the Criterium de Dauphiné.
Indeed, 3 riders from the team appear to be using them at that race, amongst them TJ Van Garderen. We have no official details on these new bikes at the moment, but from what we have seen, it appears that they followed suit with a few other manufacturers, and that they've got the dropped seat stay designs and that D-shaped aero seat tube too. Lovely looking bike. We've also seen on the UCI website that they've approved disc and rim brake versions. But it does look quite similar to a few other bikes out there recently released.
Well, it does, doesn't it? I mean, presumably, given that they released a new aero bike last year, that this is a replacement for the Super 6 lightweight bike. So it's a big departure from that Cannondale silhouette, isn't it? But I'm not going to lie, I think I like the look of it.
Well, I like the look of it too, but as I said, it looks quite similar to others. And I wonder whether the UCI regulations on equipment are going to mean that we end up with all of the top-end bikes looking almost exactly the same.
Well, yeah, but all the top-end bikes used to look exactly the same.
That is true.
Before aero anyway. So, hey, same old.
Back to basics. Hack / bodge of the week now, starting with this from Murat over in Turkey. After spending all my budget on my road bike, I decided to turn my good old hybrid into a TT bike. Not super fast or anything, but it certainly does allow me to get into the exact position that I would on a TT bike.
Nice. I'm liking that. Super fast commutes.
I like the base bars, look.
Yeah.
And the aero bar.
I wonder what Jeff Kabush has to say about using aero bars for
commuting. Depends if he's commuting on his own or not, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a good point. Also, we've got another one for Jeff. This one, Tim has created some custom carbon aero bars with integrated computer mount for his giant Propel Advanced disc.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's something...
Like a cactus.
Yeah, something looks kind of weird about it, but that's pretty cool. If only the UCI would make them legal and you could use them in road races, but otherwise, because your Propel's probably going to struggle on the dirty Kanza, but maybe retrofit it to your gravel bike.
We've got a video bodge /hack for you now from Carlos over in Ontario. I was mixing rubber liquid, or liquid rubber, I should say, to repair my trailer roof, and my drill started to overheat. I was about to zip tie a socket wrench to a Shimano 105 Biospace square taper crank, added a pedal, and hey presto, he was able to whisk it all up.
Nice work. There we go. That's kind of a weird cycling-related hack, but mainly DIY. Anyway, we've got this one sent in by Terra. This is a commuter bike with a load of gear and a dropper seat post. So there we go. Look at that. He's managed to get a giant saddlebag attached and have his dropper on there on his full suspension bike.
Biggest saddlebag I've ever seen. Though.
Yeah, that's like the holy grail for bike packers on mountain bikes. To be able to get one that fits a dropper post.
Very neat job with that.
It does look good, doesn't it?
This came in from Alan, who just came across this bike in the local market and thought it looked pretty cool. No hidden motor going on there. I mean, we get sent a lot of these and we decide not to show them most of the time, but there seems to be a bit extra going on with this one. It's even got the petrol tank there at the top and an exhaust coming out down the bottom.
There we go, yeah. Next up, we've got this one from Matt. These are quick link pliers. He's made out of 2 old steak knives. He said they were so hard I couldn't drill them, so I had to use the TIG welder to melt through. There we go. That's a hack and a half, isn't it?
We'll talk about recycling.
Yeah,
it's a hack from me as well.
Imagine getting your fingers stuck between 2 steak knives if you squish it too hard. Just be careful, because that does look like it might be a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, health and safety, they're going to go mad. This one came in from Owen. Coming home from a trainer, I see this incredible bodge. It seems to be built up with PVC plumbing pipes and a ton of electrical tape.
Oh, again, my word!
We get sent quite a few along these lines as well, but that looks like far more of a bodge than most, doesn't it?
That is incredible. I'm loving the cassette on the front wheel. Honestly, that is fantastic.
Even if you've got a really bad back, do you have to get that high and that far back with your handlebars?
You've got to ask yourself, if your back's that bad, how's it going to feel when those handlebars snap off? You go straight over the bars. There we go. Anyway, as promised at the top of the show, we will leave you with the ultimate anti-theft bike commuter hack.
It's a bit of a sting in the tail, this one.
Oh, also known as the bee's knees. This is sent in by Valech from Slovakia. Those are bees. Yes, I don't know how he's done this, but he's got his bike has been protected by a swarm of angry bees. I think that's genius.
Well, that's what you get for smearing condensed milk around your seat post, isn't it?
What? Is that what he did?
No, I don't. I have no idea what he did, but I don't know what has attracted the bees there in the first place. But you won't be going anywhere near that, will he or anybody else?
Well, that's it. How do you ride home?
Still get locked up as well. Anyway, that's enough for this week. The hashtag is GCN Hack over on social media, or you can use that uploader, a link to which is in the description below.
Caption competition now. Your chance to get your hand on a GCN Camelback water bottle. All you got to do is send in a hilariously funny caption to a photo we're just about to give you. First up, we've got the results from last week, and you'll notice that our bottle supply is running low. That's because Dan's was so good, he helped himself to an entire armful last week. So congratulations again, Dan. Yeah.
Thanks very much. But we did have a very good caption come in from Ian Milne, the winner this week. Caption: it's a race cape, not a dinner jacket.
Hey, I like that. Genuinely,
very good. Well done, Ian.
Indeed, yeah, fantastic.
All right, this week's photo comes from the start of the Criterium du Dauphiné, and it's a fan getting a selfie with Chris Froome.
No pressure, mate. No pressure, but as long as it's as good as last week's, we'll be happy.
Not as good as last week's, I'm afraid. Here's my best effort. You've got to put your elbows a bit further out if you want to look like me.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, no,
I spent a good 5 or 6 minutes thinking about that and couldn't come up with anything better. But if you can, please leave them in the comment section down below.
Another bowl safe for another week.
Before we tell you what's coming up on the channel over the next 7 days, we've picked out just 2 of our favourite comments this time, and they both centred around your Can One Bike Do It All video. First up from Donald OB. No, it seems one bike can't do it all. This one appears to lack a bottle opener. Ask SRAM or 3T to sort that out and I'm sold.
That's true. I don't think the new SRAM 4C tap axis.
No, you can use your cleats, can't you, on your road shoes?
Well, I know. I was using mountain bike shoes.
Oh yeah. Well, you need a bottle opener on your bike then.
Yeah, that's a good point. I did go thirsty, unfortunately, at the end of that, as someone else noticed. I couldn't get my beer open. Right then, yeah, this one from Mr. Grumpy53. Interesting way of number pinning, ... I feel like I've been slightly judged there, Dan.
I've never been slagged off for my number pinning.
No, but he then offers a comment. I've always just pulled my jersey over the steering wheel of my car to keep it tight, even works for skin suits, which I thought was a genius hack. So there we go. Thank you very much, Mr. Grumpy. That's, yeah, I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do another race, mate.
Are you?
Yeah, I can't feel great. I don't know when, but I want to do one.
Oh, right.
Well, when my recovery status.
Cool story, bro. Right then, coming up on Wednesday.
Yeah, this one time I was on Cervelo test too.
There's more of them. Equally cool stories. Right. Well, what was that? I'm going to do another race. When? What? Don't know. Just going to do another race. Anyway, on Wednesday, how's the average 21 miles per hour on your road bike? Just one notch up from the magical 20 mile per hour barrier. On Thursday, we've got Catherine coming in with a pre-ride from the OVO Women's Tour with the Canyon SRAM team, which will be very cool indeed. Plus, we're going to show you how to warm up for a time trial like a pro, something we did back at the Giro d'Italia. Friday, as ever, is Ask GC Anything.
Yeah, then Saturday, it is the All-American Gravel Ride that Jeremy and I went on over in Massachusetts the other day, which you've already seen a sneak peek of, so I can't wait to see the rest of that one. And then on Sunday, we've got cheap bike versus superbike Commuter Challenge. So how much difference does it make having a cheap bike or a superbike when you're riding to work?
Yeah, Monday we're back with the Racing News Show and the conclusion of the Criterium of Dauphiné, highlights of which you can see every day over on our Facebook page. And then we'll be back in the set for the show next Tuesday.
It's nearly time for Extreme Corner. Before we get there, just a quick bit of housekeeping. So we've got our events coming up this summer, GCN Avoriaz and GCN Saalbach. Well, I've just said on the grapevine, Dan, that at GCN Avoriaz, we're going to be throwing in some masterclasses. So a proper coach and a GCN presenter will be on hand to take you through some skills sessions to help you improve, as well as just having a good time riding your bike.
It was just going to be a GCN presenter, wasn't it? Before someone upstairs said, well, we probably should have a proper coach too, just to show them how to properly do things. That one from the 1st to the 5th of August. All right, it's time now for Extreme Corner, and it's Blake Sampson from GMBN fame teaching us how to crash. Blooming good, Blake, isn't he?
He is.
Riding a bike and coming off it, unbelievably. Do you know what? I've got another cool story for you.
Oh, yeah?
In the early days of GCN, it was requested that I make a video on how to crash a road bike, which I refused to do. It's all right being off-road like Blake with some soft landings, but you don't want to try and crash on a road, do you?
That's a bit like my story. We're going to tell you something interesting, but then it didn't happen.
It wasn't interesting. Right, should we wrap it up there?
Probably best. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. And also, if you want to check out the video from the weekend, Can One Bike Do It All? You can click through on screen just now.
Rate, size, number pinning.